Rolling down the boulevard in the speedboat Corvette, like a tail on a tornado ring to promise soaked in sweat. One hand on the glass pipe, the other on the wheel. Devil riding shotgun, singing, boy, let's make a deal.
This is Groundless, a Justified podcast. This is a podcast where we watch every episode of Justified and then come on here and talk about it. I'm Chris. That man is Randy.
Yeah, you know, this episode was pretty much all Ava all the time, huh?
Yeah, it was. And you know what's funny about it is that, like, I don't have a ton of notes on Ava in this episode because she doesn't, the Ava elements, she's sort of involved in every plot line that happens, but she's not really driving the plot forward at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely kind of highlights what we talked about a little bit, that this is Ava's kind of season. Season 6 is Ava's season. It's not anybody else's season. So.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
But we're talking about season 6, episode 3 of Justified, an episode called Noblesse Oblige. That episode originally aired February 3rd, 2015. In our synopsis, Boyd makes the uncomfortable discovery that the man he is trying to rob is very dangerous. And Raylan tries to put the squeeze on Boyd's explosives supplier. This episode written by Peter Weller and directed by Peter Weller and written by Taylor Elmore and Benjamin Cavell. We know those guys, all of them. Peter Weller does one episode a season at, behind the camera, and Taylor and Benjamin, of course, have been involved with the show pretty much from day one. So
that's the guy from Robocop, Peter Weller.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Oh wow, okay,
yeah.
Well that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, all right. I just it just dawned on me.
yeah. I think maybe I mentioned that last season. I don't remember, but yeah, I think he does one episode every year of Justified. So yeah.
Oh, and his son. I just looking up right now. His son is Superman. Is that right? Tom Weller?
Superman.
No, it's not. The what's it called? The Smallville.
Oh, okay.
That's not him though.
Oh, it's not him. Okay. I've never seen Smallville. I don't know. The only thing I know about Smallville is that woman who was involved in that sex cult.
Yeah. Oh man. And it wasn't even the one that I would have wanted in the sex cult.
That's the problem with sex cults. You can't pick and choose. You know, you can only attempt to recruit.
You can, but sometimes you score, right?
That's really funny. Nexium, that's what that thing was called. The same as prescription.
Yeah, it was. What was the name of that girl? Oh, Allison Mack was.
Yes, Allison Mack. Yeah. She ended up going to jail for a little while.
I think she still might be in jail. Maybe
she might still be. I don't remember. I think she got like 3 years, and that was in like 2021. So she's probably it's federal time, so she's probably still in jail.
Yeah.
That dude's in there forever. They threw away the key with him.
Yeah. Well, they got to go after all those CIA guys who were running him.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's actually probably not far from the truth.
It's somewhere there. The truth is somewhere.
They were
there.
definitely in the organization. There was too many high-powered and wealthy people involved in that thing for them not to be.
Yeah. Well, Mel Gibson, our favorite actor and director,
give me back my son.
Yes, yeah, him and the guy from Person of Interest, John Caveziel, who played Jesus in Last Temptation? Oh no, Passion of the Christ.
Passion of the Christ, yes.
Yeah, they have a movie coming out about all the human trafficking and adrenochrome and all that stuff.
Oh jeez. All right, well. I'll be sure to catch that one in the theater.
They'll suppress it. So
right. Oh yeah. So it won't be in the theater. It'll only be on alternative media.
Yeah. Oh, I got my tickets already though.
Shut down porno theaters worldwide will be reopening for one night only.
They're called art house films for a reason, or venues. Yeah.
Our guest stars this week, we have two we want to talk about. First is one of the members of the gang, the Walker gang, or if you want to call it now, the Avery Markham gang. Seabass. Seabass is played by a guy named Scott Grimes. You might recognize him, especially if you've watched ER or Party of Five. He was in 70 episodes of Party of Five and 112 episodes of ER, so very prolific. He was also in Band of Brothers, the original run. He was in all 10 episodes of that. He was in Critters 1 and 2, and I don't know if you remember Critters, 80s era horror movie with these little fuzzy creatures that would kill you.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. And he does the voice of Steve Smith, the son, on American Dad. He's been in 353 episodes of American Dad. And who knew American Dad had made 353 episodes? Certainly not me. That's wild.
Is that, what's the other one with Stewie?
Family Guy.
Is that Family Guy? Yeah.
Same producer, I think. Seth MacFarlane produces both of them.
Yeah, well, it seems like they have very similar like animation style.
Yeah,
you know, like so it's like a signature thing that I associate with what's his name, the Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, yeah. I know he's involved somehow. I'm not sure if he's a showrunner or producer like he is with Family Guy, or if it's more that he's just like an executive producer sort of thing.
Yeah.
But so that's Scott Grimes, Seabass. And then our other guest star this week is Brent Briscoe, who is Luther Kent. And Brent passed away, unfortunately, in October of 2017. So he hasn't done much lately. But he's in some big movies. He's in The Dark Knight Rises. He's in The Green Mile, A Simple Plan, which is a fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, Billy Bob Thornton. You got to go check it out. It's about these guys who stumble across a bunch of money in the woods and try and figure out what to do with it. It will definitely make you think twice. Between that and No Country for Old Men, if you ever find money sitting somewhere, just walk away, walk as fast as you can in the other direction.
Can you imagine? Yeah, because I think it was like you don't walk away from, if it's $2 million like lying there, that doesn't go unnoticed,
right? Yeah, someone will be missing that money. Yeah. And they're going to come looking for it. Well, I saw a TikTok the other day of these people who found a black bag washed up on the beach in Florida. And I'm really? Like, yeah, you don't want to open that. They call the cops, and the cops start unpacking bundle after bundle after bundle of drugs. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I wonder if these cartels have a calculate, because these department stores or whatever. Yeah, shrinkage. Yeah, they have to calculate that into their operation. So.
Oh, they totally do, but they also put trackers in all those bags. So you don't want to take one home, not find the tracker, and end up. What if it's a bait bag? What if it's the cops who are setting somebody up or trying to set somebody up, and you grab it and take it home, and now all of a sudden you're going to jail.
Well, it's not stealing. Oh, I guess it would be stealing, literally.
Technically, I think it is stealing. But it's also possession. So
yeah, that's true.
And if it's wrapped up in bundles like that, it's possession with intent. Good luck proving otherwise. I found it on the beach.
They'll just do the civil asset forfeiture because you have no proof of where the money comes from.
Yeah, they'll just take all your stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Just walk away, folks. That's the legal advice from your friends at the Groundless podcast.
And I am the red devil on the other shoulder saying that you should.
You're like, just take a little bit.
Yeah, don't take all.
Just wet your beak.
Yeah, exactly.
So Brent Briscoe also in Mulholland Drive, the David Lynch film, Twin Peaks 2017, the revival of Twin Peaks. He was in that, another David Lynch show. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Parks and Recreation. Evening Shade, he was in. So Evening Shade is the Burt Reynolds TV show from the 80s. I don't know if you remember that at all.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't like in Alaska or something like that, right? Or is that a different one?
I think that's a different one. I don't remember where Evening Shade took place, but yeah, it's I think it was a detective show, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he was on 7 episodes, but played different characters. I don't know if it was different characters on all of them, but on several of them, he played different characters, which I love. And then Hell on Wheels, which the first few seasons of Hell on Wheels are really, really enjoyable. I liked it a lot. It's about the railroad, building the railroad across the continent in the post-Civil War era. And you've got a lot of these former Civil War guys and a lot of freed slaves who are working on the railroads. And then on the Pacific side, you had the imported Chinese working on the railroads. And it's a really, really interesting, cool show. Very stylized. Common is in it. It's good. I enjoyed it a lot. So if you have a chance, check it out. I don't know if it's anywhere on streaming. I haven't really seen it anywhere, but check out Hell on Wheels if you're looking for something to watch. I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, that gets us through our episode basics, which means it's time to take a quick trip back to the week of February 3, 2015 and see what was going on in popular culture at the time.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
And we climb into that DeLorean to get us back there, and we find our number one movie and our number one song are the same as they were last week. We're back another week with American Sniper, number one at the box office, grossed another $40 million this week for a total of $258 million. And Uptown Funk in its 4th week at number one. And I'm starting to suspect that it's going to be the only song we mention all season.
Yeah,
it's doing really well. There's a couple of songs that are kind of creeping up behind it that I think might sort of catch up. Like for this week, Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran is number 2, and Take Me to Church by Hozier is number 3. And then you've got 2 Taylor Swift songs behind it, but the Taylor Swift songs, and one of them was Shake It Off, both of those songs were already at number 1, so they're not coming back up. So I feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe this might do it. It might be Uptown Funk for the rest of Justify, but we'll see.
All right.
And then, of course, we're going to take a quick look at our lesser-known organized crime story of the week. This week, we're going to learn about the Cornbread Mafia, and it plays in very nicely to what we're talking about here in Season 6. So the Cornbread Mafia is a set of Kentucky gangsters organized the growing and distribution of marijuana. So in 1989, between 1985 and 1989, there were 70 men arrested across 30 farms in 10 states for growing pot. And essentially, at the time when these guys started, the cops thought that the marijuana in the U.S. was mostly coming from imports, from South America, from Asia. But these guys had figured out that, hey, we're on the same line of latitude as the Hindu Kush Mountains, which are between Afghanistan and Pakistan. And if you know anything about weed culture, the word Kush is used as slang for weed. And it's done for a reason. There's some of the best weed in the world is grown in those mountains. And they figured out, hey, we're on the same line of latitude. We probably have very similar growing conditions, and realized that, oh yeah, Kentucky is one of the best places in the world to grow pot, much like our friend Avery Markham has figured out. And so they built an empire. And between 1985 and 89, there 70 people were arrested, accused of growing 182 tons of marijuana. By the end of 91, 100 people were arrested. And so a couple of things that were interesting here. They're famous for maintenance of the code of silence. So of the 100 people that were arrested, none of them cooperated with authorities. Nobody talked to the cops. And so the cops were never able to charge it as a continuing criminal enterprise, which is sort of like RICO, except for drugs. So they got them all on individual